Happy Halloween, everyone. Another year has come and gone, and we are at Halloween for 2025. One of my favorite holidays every year. Obviously, I'm a huge horror buff, and I just wanted to share in my love for Halloween and horror with all of you this year. So, we're going to show some of my favorite collectibles, some of my favorite autographs. They're all horror or Halloween themed. Talk about a couple of really cool experiences I've had visiting set locations from a couple of my favorite horror movies as well. First up, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this. There's a lot of incredible action figures, collectible figures, especially from NECA. You guys know I show off a lot of NECA stuff on my channel, but I wanted to just show one off for this episode. And this was actually my very first NECA figure that I ever bought in the stores. I bought it, I want to say 3, 4 years ago. And this is the Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode Halloween 2 set from NECA. And it's really awesome. I wanted it when I saw it online. I didn't think I'd find it in the stores. Next, I want to show two different sets of Funko Pops. So the first set I want to show off is a couple of pops that are my favorite that are not autographed, but they are horror themed and they're from a couple of my favorite movies of all time. So first, we have the Jack Torrance Chase, played by Jack Nicholson. Obviously, The Shining is one of my all-time favorite movies. I received this chase as a birthday gift from my dear friends Jeremy and Taylor earlier this year. So was so excited to get this in my collection. Love this chase. And next up is also from Jeremy and Taylor. They helped me get this NFT pop, and I cannot believe I have it in my collection. But this is the 2,400 piece Freddy Funko with the chestburster alien from Alien, one of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite movies ever made. And I cannot believe I have this pop. So Jeremy and Taylor have helped me get two of my all-time favorite pops. Next, I'm going to show you a couple of autographed Funko Pops that I have. We have Black Phone 2 in theaters now. I believe it's still #1 at the box office. One of the best actors of my generation for sure, Ethan Hawke. This is the Black Phone, the first film, Grabber, signed by Ethan Hawke, and it is from OC Celebrity Marketing. It's authenticated by them, but looks really good with the red paint pen, and it's an awesome pop as well. Next up, we actually have, I cannot prove this because I don't have the certificate or photos or anything like that, but David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, he came to OKC Horror last year, not this year, and he was here 2 weeks after the release of the first Art the Clown Funko Pops came out. So I went and I bought 3 or 4 Art the Clown Funko Pops. I tried to be the very first Funko Pop he ever had signed at the con because OKC was the first place he would have signed and seen these pops in person. So I was not the first ever, but I am the first ever bicycle Art the Clown that has ever been signed by David Howard Thornton. And I can confirm that because when I handed it to him, he had seen this pop for the very first time. He was like, "Oh, look, I'm on a bicycle," and like he was just so ecstatic. And it was authentic, and I believed that he had never seen it before. And this third and final autograph pop that I want to show you, I have a few other autographed horror pops that mean a lot to me. This is definitely the most rare one that I have and the coolest one, in my honest opinion. We have the Tim Curry autographed Pennywise, and it is the 2018 Rhode Island Comic Con exclusive. It has the OC Celebrity Marketing authentication sticker. It also has their exclusive sticker hologram of Tim Curry, which I think is so cool. And then the paint pen that he used that day is just, it pops a lot. His autograph's not really gigantic, which is good, but it's there. He's getting up there in age and his health's declining, unfortunately. I don't know how many more signings he's going to do in the near future. So this pop means a lot to me. Earlier this year, actually, it goes back to last October. I flew out to LA Comic Con, well, to LA for LA Comic Con, and my cousin, who I stayed with one of the nights there, lives in Pasadena, California, which is very famous for where they filmed Halloween 1978 by John Carpenter. One of my absolute favorite movies, one of my favorite horror movies ever made. I talk about it at nauseum sometimes. I just love that movie. So, waking up the day I went to LA Comic Con, I woke up early. I walked many places in Pasadena, but I had to check out almost all the filming locations that I could on foot because I didn't have a vehicle. So I was ecstatic. I was able to go see the Halloween house, Michael Myers' house. They have made that a landmark and moved it over to the railroads. And it's actually right next to where they filmed the hardware store scene as well. So that is right next door to that, and there's a set of train tracks. There's the four-way intersection where Michael drives the car in the background behind Dr. Loomis and Lieutenant Beckett. Really funny scene when you go back and watch it. But I got to kind of hang out in that area, see the Myers house, which is super cool. Another house that was used in the film is the Strode House, and it's changed a lot over the years. But that house, standing in front of it, was just so, I don't know. It kind of came over me when I was standing across the street and I took a picture in front of it. People live there in that house now. I think they have for a long time. It's been repainted. It's a lot different from the 70s. And one of the final stops on this little trip that I just took in LA was the famous hedge that Michael Myers steps out onto the sidewalk that Lori and her friends are walking on, and they see him up above. And then when they go check behind the hedge, he's not there. Um, Super surreal to be part of that because it's just such an iconic moment in film history. Um, People live in those houses where the hedge is, so nobody was out when I was there, and nobody was taking pictures when I was there because I'm sure people do it daily. But it was nice because it was just me and my camera phone, and I got to be, kind of go in, take some pictures and video, and then go on my merry way. Other famous horror location set that I visited was actually earlier this year. I went to visit my father beginning of the summer in Austin, Texas. He lives in Austin, Texas, and about an hour away from where he lives is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And just I had never been down. I go to Austin, I go to Dallas a lot. I had never driven down to that part of Texas before. So my dad, my son, and I took a little trip while we were visiting my dad over to see the Texas Chainsaw House. They actually turned it into a restaurant inside, and I mean, they kept it mostly the same, so it has that old style feel. The famous, you know, meat locker scene where Leatherface knocks the guy out with a mallet, takes him in, and slams the door shut. Terrifying scenes to this day. I was able to meet Gunnar Hansen a while back before he passed, and he's just a big dude. So like that scene overall is just terrifying. But that's like a revolving door now. That's where the kitchen is, where they cook in the restaurant. So yeah, it has a restaurant. You can walk around inside. You can go upstairs. They have some, props and stuff set up to make it look like a creepy house inside. So my dad and I walked upstairs, and then on the way out, they actually connected and built a bar called Hooper's after Toby Hooper, the famous director who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you can walk around in there. It's kind of like a sports bar feel. They have TVs. They have a Texas Chainsaw pinball machine, a bunch of art and posters and autographs from the cast. And then there's tables outside. You can sit outside, and it's really cool. But you're in and standing on the location where they filmed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the most iconic horror films in movie history. So really cool. It was blazing hot that day, but I'm glad my dad and I drove down there. And to finish that trip off, my dad actually lives about 10 minutes away from the cemetery that they filmed for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I didn't do any video recording in the cemetery just because I felt awkward and I didn't want to, you know, do any of that. You know, I'm not super spiritual or anything, but I just felt odd trying to film something. So I took a couple pictures of the grave site that they used in the film. That was it, and then we got out of there. So pretty surreal because it's like I said, an iconic movie. Appreciate each and every one of you for all the support, not only for the horror stuff that I do, but just everything in general. I've met some incredible people through this community. Just am so thankful for all of you. So I hope you all have a very happy Halloween, a very safe Halloween. Make sure if you have kids, I know I'm going to take my son out as long as it's not freezing cold. Um, so just be safe with your kids, enjoy the time together, and eat some candy, get your sweet tooth going. So happy Halloween, and we will catch you all later.